What is up, everybody? Jake and Joey here to tell you all about the latest re-release of Monster Hunter Rise. This time, it's on PlayStation and Xbox, of course, already launched on Switch, later came to Steam, now it's coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and Windows, I should say. And Joey, I know, you're not the biggest Monster Hunter fan, not the biggest Monster Hunter appreciator, and I think there has never been a game nor time better to jump into this franchise than right here, right now, with Monster Hunter Rise on these platforms. So I want to sell you on it.
You gotta have to make me love it, Jake. Make me love Monster Hunter, because this is a series I've like wanted to get into, right? I straight up bought I think it was Monster Hunter. What came out on Switch? Not World. That was actually on Game Pass. I did play that though. I tried it out on Game Pass. Was it
Generations Ultimate?
I think it was Generations Ultimate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually used Nintendo Switch, my gold coins, to buy it, so I didn't spend any money on it.
Cool.
And for the life of me, I just can't get into this franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks so cool every time I see it. It looks rad, but the gameplay just does not click with me. It's just the movements are very specific. It's super. It's not as tight as I'd like it to be, and I know that's probably part of the design of it. And all of it's just constant, like, slash for hours. And let me know if I'm just not, if it's me just not vibing with it, or is there something I'm not getting, Jake?
I think it's one of those franchises that it's like, this happened to me. Bounced off a game, bounced off another game, fell in love with one, and now I am in so deep. So let me get the brass tacks about this version of the game really quick. So, obviously, I think the big comparison here is, the game is on Steam, but I think for a lot of people, it's about how it compares to the Switch version that it launched on. And what you're seeing on PlayStation and Xbox is that you can get this game running at 4K 60 frames per second. Ooh, or you can do 1080p at 120 frames.
No way. You're telling me 4K 60, not upscaled 4K?
But no, it's 4, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't believe you. I'm about to see this. So
we're also getting 3D audio, which is cool. Like having my headphones in, that whole theater experience. There's voice chat in the game. So outside of being able to do like your party chats and whatnot, when you're grouping up with people online, it's got the voice chat function in there. And on PlayStation 5 exclusively, you're looking at adaptive trigger support. So you got some, so particularly when you're like using a shield, or if you're using one of like the gun weapons, when you're pulling that trigger, you'll be like, whoa, this one all of a sudden is a big chunky pull. And, you know, stuff like that. It's which I like. I know some people don't like. You can turn it all off. But I think a couple of negatives I just want to get out of the way really quick. There's no cross save. There's no cross play. So this is fresh and new. And I understand why that might be bad for some people that want to continue their games from other platforms. But I think that adds to my argument about why this is a good start point. This is a good time to get in with everybody that's going to be getting in at level 1. And this is a $40 game on PlayStation, launching at $40, and it will be free day of launch on Xbox Game Pass. So
sold.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So I think that Monster Hunter Rise right now in January of 2023 has so much going for it, because I think we must be on the precipice of the next big Monster Hunter game, you know? Maybe it's something with Nintendo. Maybe it's something more like World. I know there were rumors of a future Monster Hunter game floating around for a while, but I think it's coming. And I think what happens when you get a huge Capcom franchise like this is that you see it and you go, oh, I wanna be excited like all these other people are excited. But I think before you get on that ride, I think you almost have to learn to appreciate it in a basics way, so that you actually have something to look forward to, and it doesn't become this game that you hype yourself up for. Maybe you convince yourself you're gonna get in, really like it, you spend the $70, and then you play it and you go, oh, again, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't like this. You don't want to have that. So I think now you get in on this game, cheaper price, amazing experience. This is where you build your building blocks so that you can in the future be on the ride for this franchise.
The rise of this franchise.
That's right. That's right. But to me, the big thing about this game is that it added 2 features that I think if future Monster Hunter games get rid of, I will really miss. And the 2 features are the wire bug and the palamute. The wire bug is a rechargeable hookshot that you can attach to the air. So rather than having to cling to any kind of terrain, you just kind of like aim your reticle up, hit your little hookshot, and you're just like Spider-Manning in the air.
Bro, Spider-Man PS1.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes, it's exactly. That's the vibe. And it's fun too because you can like, I think like philosophically, kind of in your mind of the big monster battles, sometimes, or in any boss fight, you say to yourself, oh my God, the thing I need to do is not be on the ground. And there's something funny you can do in this game where like you do your little wire bug and you do it up, and then I think you press the O button and your guy will just like have a little line and he'll hold on to it and he'll just hang out there for a second. And he's just like, okay, I'm good. You can come down and then do whatever you want. And the way that this, I think, penetrates the gameplay most often is that, you know, Monster Hunter game, you're really committing to your attacks, your animations, it's moving at a certain speed. But now, anytime you get hit by the monster, normally you'd take a while, get yourself together, get back up, and then you can act again. In this game, you get hit by the monster, you press, I think it's R2 and X, and instead of falling back, instead of having that whole sequence that you're used to in every game, immediately your guy just goes, oh, whip, okay, I'm up. And now you're
Nice.
moving again. And
yeah. The animations are what really get me too. Like every time I play this, it's like, to me, I don't know if I choose the wrong class. I feel like everything takes so long, and I know that's part of the challenge. But also, am I a hypocrite? I love Elden Ring, but like I don't feel like the animations in those games take nearly as long as the ones in Monster Hunter.
You're correct.
Keep in mind, I haven't played Rise. That's the only one. Oh, not the only one I haven't played, but that's one of the ones I haven't played yet. So. I didn't jump in there. I only played World and Generations Ultimate, which I think Generations Ultimate was not a good jumping off point for a newcomer, but maybe Rise is.
Yeah.
Sounds.
Joe, you're bringing up a great thing here, and I think like your weapon class is such a huge choice, and there is totally an implicit like levels of difficulty with each class. And they don't, and I think sometimes they could do a better job at pointing you towards the 3 or 4 weapons that are easier to get the basics and understand. Having played the last few Monster Hunter games now, and now sitting down with this one, this is the one that I think addresses the things that, especially for newcomers, can become really frustrating the best. And I also think that I'm sure a lot of comments are going to go, but why is this a better entry point than it was on the Switch? And I didn't think I was going to have this argument until I played it on PlayStation. And the difference is that it's twofold. One, I hate to say it, but oh boy, do those graphics make a difference. Oh God. And it's not just the frame rate, and it's not just like the bullet points. It's that like, it's shadows. Like, this is such a stupid thing, but the shadows in the Switch version, I like I forget about it. The shadows in the PlayStation 5 version, they create a sense of depth, and they play off the colors in the game like so well, like in a way that like made me appreciate what was going on in the game artistically in a whole new way. So that was one thing. But the second thing is that I think that the experience on these consoles is better tuned to playing online, particularly because of the voice chat and because of the like party chat system.
That's very true. Yeah. Especially it being on Game Pass. Like that's like Jake. Like I'm gonna try this out on Game Pass. Like for real. That's also where I tried out Monster Hunter World too. That was on. I don't know if that's still on Game Pass, but it was when I played it. Yeah. So that's really interesting to me, and you know, part of the reason going back to graphics too, that's another part of the reason why I was kind of interested in this franchise. Like this game series looked great on Wii, it looked great on 3DS. Like wow, Monster Hunter 4 on 3DS, that was like a revelation. But hearing that looks even better, and even looked really good on Switch. Like, that was one of the best looking Switch games I've seen, right?
Agreed.
Aside from the shadows, like you mentioned. but I want to play it in that 4K 60. But as long as it's 60, it could be at 1080p. I don't care as long as it's 60. And I think that might make a huge difference to me, because you know, this generation of consoles has really spoiled me. I can't, unless it's like on Switch, I really just can't play any game at 30 frames per second anymore. Like I'll make exceptions if the game is older, or if it's like, if it doesn't have FPS boost on Xbox, right? But man, oh man, playing Monster Hunter at 60, I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
There's also a another, like, one of those secret things you don't think about too much. I think I was so used to, in a game like Monster Hunter, picking the hunt I wanted to do, saying, okay, let's go to that location, let's do that hunt, and like pulling out my phone and like waiting for it to queue up, and then being like, oh, okay, mission's here, I'm done on Twitter. And in this version of the game, it's like scary how fast it loads. It's almost every time I do it, I go, man. And it's just interesting. And I think it has this weird effect of keeping me in the game, and almost like it adds up and makes me do like one more hunt than I would have done otherwise, because it's not like a whole thing going out onto a hunt. It's just like, okay, I pick my hunt, I grab my meal, I hit the frickin' road, and I'm there. I think sometimes, like, people that really love this franchise accidentally distance themselves from what that experience is like when you don't know it forwards, backwards, and sideways. And getting to the top of that mountain is really exciting. And I think the thing that I like would want to instill to anybody watching this video that is thinking like, okay, maybe I'm gonna give this another shot, maybe I'll pick it up on Game Pass, maybe I'll just pay the $40 on PlayStation, is that the way that it's all set up here in Monster Hunter Rise is freaking awesome, because there's two hubs. Multiplayer hub, online hub, you can do stuff solo if you want, that's a whole thing. And then there's no, this is just a solo hub, we're not even gonna think about letting you do this with other people. And I'm
sold. You say less. I'm done. Like, solo. Give me solo stuff. And like, I don't care about playing with friends. Let me play by myself.
And Joey, they do such a good job of just saying, okay, here are 4 missions. You need to beat 2 of them to get to the next level. In addition to these 4, here's like 8 missions that you could do if you're just not feeling good. If you're like, I need to hang out at this level before I go to the next one. The way that the experience is guided and they're telling you things. I played Monster Hunter World. I played some past Monster Hunter games. The games have never been super good at talking to you. I think that there is a myth that Monster Hunter games are really hard. They are not hard. They are they are confusing. And there's a difference. I agree. They obfuscate things. And the control scheme is obtuse. And I think it's purposefully obtuse. And I think part of the game is like learning an instrument, and it is about becoming good at doing this weird thing. In like a fighting game, a special move is more complex as an input than like a normal attack is. And part of the balance of that game is that it needs to take the player just that much longer to do the move. And I think that's kind of the ethos of the Monster Hunter movesets and the kits. It's hey, look at this stupid thing we're asking you to do. Figure it out. And then that's, you're like, oh, I'm learning something. It kind of gets in it lives in your head in that way. And with all of that said, again, I think that in comparison to past games in the franchise, this one does the best job at going, hey, here's the practice area. Oh, you're here and you're holding a greatsword? Here are some moves you could do. And I'm just like, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm gonna go do those moves. Thank you. And even then, I would never tell anybody not to look up a little video about how to use whatever weapon if that's what you want to do. That's great. But yeah, I think the signposting, the graphics, the softness of this launch, the price of the entry, everything it's giving you, I think there's a good little storm cloud here for somebody thinking about getting into this franchise. I picked up this game thinking, Joey, I played like over 100 hours on Switch easily.
Wow.
Loved this game on Switch. and I got the code to review this for us, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll put in a few hours, and then I'll bounce off. Just got to make sure that everything's good. And now I'm telling all my friends, I'm like, buy this game, play this game with me. This is my game now. So it's like, oh, it's like infectious, and I want people to like. I think that feels good. It feels good to have a game like that. So that's what I want for people. Those are my thoughts. Joey, where are you?
Where am I?
Where are you?
I'm willing to try it out. Like, if it's coming to Game Pass, I'm playing it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Like, maybe, oh man, if the PC version is compatible with the DualSense, I might play it there, because, like, I love the DualSense way too much. And I go back and I use this, and I'm just like, what is this? What is this right here? Like, it's a good controller, but the DualSense, baby, oh my goodness, that haptic feedback, that form factor, everything. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try it out. It sounds like they really, like, I missed out on it when it came out on Switch, and I don't think I'll make that mistake again on this current gen version. Next current gen. What year is it?
Right.
Like, we're still calling it next gen, but these consoles are in their 3rd year now, so.
Yeah. Well, and I guess I should wrap up just by saying, you know, this is a bit of a non-traditional review. I think if you want to hear a review about Monster Hunter Rise, we have the one on for Switch on our channel, and it is, you know, 95% the same game. For those that are in the know, this does not have the Sunbreak expansion that is coming later this year, but
that's still not out yet.
No, so that it's on Switch and it's on PC. It's not coming to the new versions until later this year. And
that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think, obviously, I think they probably want to charge people for it, but I also just think that there is a little bit of like a, like when a fighting game comes out and it's like, learn this stuff, and then you can learn that stuff. And then,
I see.
So,
I see.
yeah.
Okay.
So, like, I don't think that really changes what I'm saying if somebody's like trying to get into this game. Because I think if you're trying to get in, you don't really, the expansion stuff isn't really gonna, that doesn't matter to you. All right, well, Monster Hunter Rise, PlayStation, Xbox, Windows. You can grab it right now on Switch and PC, on Steam, rather. But any way you want to experience this game, I think is a totally fine way to do it. I just think sometimes getting in on that new release energy, this is in a soft way. Get in with everybody on the ground floor, level 1. Send me a friend request. I'll bring you through some hunts. I'll bring it through. You know? Yeah. Monster Hunter Rise. Great time. Really enjoyed that game. Thank you everybody for listening. Joey, thanks for coming in, hanging out. I'm invested in your Monster Hunter journey.
We shall see.
We shall see.
I don't know if I'll start it right when it comes out, but we'll see.
We'll see. Okay. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. I'm Jake. That's Joey. This is GameXplain. Stay tuned for everything else on Monster Hunter and games in general. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.